Ever feel like the government's trying to protect you, but they're really just fucking shit up? Why is the SEC's lawsuit against Richard Heart misguided? How does a regulatory uncertainty hurt the crypto industry when the cops are saucy and the crooks are us? SEC lawsuit, Richard Heart Pulse. First, you gotta understand that the SEC is supposed to protect investors, right? But now, they're going after Richard Heart and his crypto projects, claiming they're unincorporated alter egos or some shit. The SEC's all like, we're here to save you from the big bad crypto man. But here's the thing, HEX isn't an investment contract. It's a finished product that launched complete without any essential managerial effort from Heart. And the same principles of decentralization and autonomy that make HEX legitimate apply to Pulse and PulseX as well. See, for something to be a security, it's gotta pass the Howey test. That means there's gotta be an investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profits solely from the efforts of others. But with Pulse, PulseX, and HEX, that ain't the case. These are decentralized, autonomous projects that don't rely on Heart's ongoing work. So, the SEC files this lawsuit, right? Which leads to a bunch of people who hold HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX tokens being like, yo, we're not victims. We knew the risks.
Bruh, the SEC's just making things worse for everyone.
Wait, so if the SEC wins, does that mean our tokens are worthless now? WTF? The SEC's claiming that Heart gave tongue-in-cheek disavowals while making veiled references about potential profits. But that's some bullshit. Heart was always upfront about the risks and never guaranteed any results. He even said, you must have no expectation of profit from the work of others. But here's the thing, the SEC's actions have already caused some serious damage. Prices tanked, tokens got delisted from exchanges, and now everyone's scared to invest in crypto.
The SEC's supposed to protect us, but they're just screwing us over.
It's like they don't even care about the actual people in the crypto space, SMH. When the lawsuit was announced, the prices of Pulse, PulseX, and HEX dropped by 58% in a single day. That's billions in losses for token holders. And it's not just the prices. The uncertainty caused by the SEC has led to major exchanges like Uniswap and OKX delisting these tokens, making it harder for people to buy, sell, or trade them. All right, let's dive deeper into this SEC lawsuit shitshow. SEC lawsuit, Richard Heart Pulse. First off, you gotta understand that Pulse, PulseX, and HEX are not investment contracts. The SEC's out here claiming they're securities, but recent case law is like, nah fam.
Didn't the SEC just lose a similar case against Ripple? Seems like they're grasping at straws.
If Pulse and PulseX are securities, then what's next? Is every crypto a security now? In the Ripple case, the judge ruled that XRP wasn't a security because buyers had no reasonable expectation of profit based on Ripple's efforts. They were buying a token with utility, not investing in a company. The same logic applies to Pulse, PulseX, and HEX. These are finished products with real-world utility, not investment contracts. And let's not forget about the Uniswap case, where a judge straight up said that Ethereum isn't a security. If Ethereum isn't a security, then how can PulseChain be one? It's built on the same damn technology. So, the SEC is trying to paint Richard Heart as some mastermind controlling these unincorporated alter egos. But let's be real, that's some bullshit. These are decentralized projects with no traditional business structure. The SEC clearly doesn't understand how decentralization works.
It's like they're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole just to suit their narrative.
Fun fact, PulseChain has over 45,000 active nodes worldwide, making it one of the most decentralized networks out there. If Heart really controlled Pulse, PulseX, and HEX, then every single transaction on these networks would belong to him. But that's not how it works. There are thousands of people all over the world who hold and use these tokens every day. Heart can't just snap his fingers and make them dance. But here's where it gets real. If the SEC wins, it could seriously fuck over crypto holders. We're talking loss of ownership rights, reduced token value, and even asset seizure.
Imagine waking up one day and finding out your crypto is worthless because of some lawsuit.
The SECs are supposed to protect investors, but they're just creating more uncertainty and chaos. If the SEC starts treating crypto projects as unincorporated alter egos of their founders, it sets a dangerous precedent. Suddenly, anyone who holds or uses these tokens could be at risk of losing everything, just because some regulator decided to play judge, jury, and executioner. And let's not forget about the chilling effect this could have on innovation. If developers are afraid of being sued every time they create something new, they'll just stop trying. Listen, the people who participated in the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifices weren't just in it for the money. They were making a statement about free speech and assembly on the blockchain. We sacrificed for a cause we believed in, not just to make a quick buck.
The SEC is trying to paint us as greedy investors, but that's not what this is about.
Fun fact, the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifices raised over $27 million for the Sense Foundation, a non-profit researching longevity and aging. The sacrifice wasn't some kind of gotcha moment where Heart tricked people into buying unregistered securities. It was a genuine expression of support for the principles of free speech and decentralization. And let's be real, if the SEC really wanted to protect investors, they wouldn't be going after projects like this. They'd be focusing on actual scams and frauds, not legitimate projects with real-world use cases. And let's talk about how the SEC's actions have already caused some serious damage. When the lawsuit was announced, prices of Pulse, PulseX, and Hex tanked harder than a drunk sorority girl on spring break.
The SEC is supposed to prevent market manipulation, but they're the ones causing it.
It's like they don't give a shit about the real-world consequences of their actions. But the damage goes beyond just the price drops. The SEC's lawsuit has created a huge amount of uncertainty and fear in the crypto space. Projects are getting delisted, developers are getting scared, and investors are pulling out faster than a frat boy with whiskey dick. And for what? So the SEC can flex its muscles and pretend like it's doing something useful? Give me a fucking break. So, here's the deal. The SEC's overreach is hurting innovation and stifling the growth of the crypto industry. They're trying to apply outdated rules to a new technology they don't fully understand. If the SEC keeps this up, they're going to drive all the crypto innovation overseas.
We need clear, sensible regulations that protect investors without suffocating progress.
And let's not forget, the outcome of this case could have implications not just for Richard Heart and PulseChain, but for the entire crypto industry. Wait, you mean this case could affect more than just the PulseChain? How? Well, think about it. If the SEC is allowed to redefine what constitutes a security and impose its will on decentralized projects, it could open the door to a whole new era of regulatory uncertainty and overreach. Holy shit, that's scary. So this is really about the future of crypto as we know it.
Exactly. That's why it's so important that we stand up and make our voices heard now before it's too late. I'm not going to let some government suits tell me what I can and can't do with my own damn money.
By signing this petition and supporting Richard Heart's fight for fair treatment, we're not just defending one man or one project, but the very principles of innovation, decentralization, and free speech that make crypto so valuable and transformative. Damn right, I'm not just a PulseChain fanboy, I'm a true believer in the power of crypto to change the world. Crypto isn't going away, no matter how hard the SEC tries to slam the brakes. It's a global, decentralized phenomenon that's bigger than any one country or regulator. But if the US wants to stay competitive and attract the best and brightest minds in the space, it needs to create a regulatory environment that encourages innovation, not stifles it. At the end of the day, the SEC's lawsuit against Richard Heart and Pulse is a misguided attempt to protect investors. When regulators don't take the time to understand the technology they're trying to control, everybody loses. The SEC is just flailing around blindly, causing chaos and confusion instead of providing clarity. It's time for the SEC to start working with the crypto community, not against it. We need an honest, open dialogue about how to balance investor protection with innovation and progress. By signing this petition, you can help send a message that the crypto space won't tolerate regulatory misconduct and overreach. So click that link and add your name to the fight. Let's stand together and demand that our voices be heard. Now I'd love to hear your take. Do you think the SEC is stifling innovation in crypto? What changes would you like to see in how this space is regulated? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more crypto content focused on protecting this community.